So now let's talk about some tips and tricks and some common mistakes to avoid. And the first of these is to avoid having more than one revision in the in-work maturity state. What we learned in the last video is that a file remains in work while you're making changes. In this case, revision A in work. When you're done making changes to that file, you can change the maturity state to released, locking all future changes. And if you need to make additional changes, at that point you would make a new revision, which would become revision B, again in the in-work maturity state. When you're done making changes to revision B, you would change the maturity state back to released. Well, you may discover that it is actually possible to take a file at revision A in work and immediately create a new revision, leaving you with revision A in work and revision B in work. This is a workflow that I think you should avoid. On occasion, it may be appropriate, but for the most part, it'll just cause confusion. Because if you think about it, when you take a file and you push that file into the released maturity state, you're saying to the rest of the team, there's no more changes that are going to take place on this revision of the file. This revision is done. It is locked. Well, if one of your teammates looks at the collaborative space and sees revision A in work, meaning there's going to be more changes, and revision B in work, and revision C in work, they're going to be left wondering which version of the file they're actually supposed to be working with. Is revision A going to get more changes? Is revision C going to get more changes? Which one should I actually be working with? So instead, I would encourage you to avoid this workflow and stick to the suggested workflow. Keep the file in Rev A while you're making changes. Once you're ready to lock down Rev A, change the maturity to released. Then, if any additional changes need to be made, you can make a new revision, which will be in work. So I hope this helps to illustrate why it's important to avoid having more than one revision in the in-work maturity state. Next, let's take a look at save with options versus save. If we examine the help file, we can see that the Save with Options command opens the Save dialog box where you can view information about the file and perform different operations. The Save command directly saves data in 3D Experience without opening the Save dialog box. Up to this point, you've seen me use the Save with Options command exclusively. I'm going to use it again here because I want to create a new revision of our Table 4 Box 2020. We now have a new revision of this file, revision D in work. I'm going to reserve this file and make a simple change. In this case, I'll change the number of holes from 6 down to 3. I now need to save this file up to the collaborative space. I could choose Save with Options. But since I know that I wish to utilize the defaults, I'll choose Cancel, bypass that Options dialog box, and simply choose Save. The file is now pushed up to the collaborative space, and I'm ready to make some additional changes. Here, I'll change the center diameter from 16 to 8, and I can simply right mouse button and choose Save. So in summary, when we're pushing a file up to the collaborative space and we choose Save, we will use the default settings. This is very handy when you're making changes but keeping the file in the in-work maturity state. You can simply choose Save and move on to the next changes. However, if you need to adjust any of the options in that dialog box, you can choose Save with Options. Now, let's talk about what happens when we're working with files which have been saved in a folder outside of the appropriate local working area. I'm going to start out by closing this file we've been working on. As you can see, it's in revision D in work. Next, I'm going to open the drawing that we created earlier in the video series. You may recall that this is stored in the S drive in our old SOLIDWORKS storage, which is outside of the appropriate local working area. The drawing is opened, and we can see that there's some new icons over in the task pane. These icons are indicating that the files are not stored in the appropriate local working area and that they'll need to be copied when we perform a save to the collaborative space. Let's do that now. We right mouse button on the name of the drawing and choose Save with Options. This time we're presented with a new dialog box telling us that these files will now be copied to the appropriate local working area. So we choose Copy, and the files are copied into the appropriate local working area. Here we can see, if we explore the folder called C 3D Experience My Work, the drawing, assembly, and both parts have now been copied into this directory. And if we go back to SolidWorks, we can see that the Save to 3D Experience dialog has automatically appeared, allowing us to now take these files and push them up to our collaborative space. Now, one thing to note here is that these files now exist in two different locations on your local hard drive. As we mentioned a moment ago, they've been copied into the appropriate local working area, but these files still exist in their original location in old SolidWorks storage. I don't like having multiple copies of the same file on my local hard drive, so that's why I will discourage you from working with files which have been saved in a folder outside of the appropriate local working area. Instead, you want to make it a habit to always save and open from C 3D Experience My Work. Now, to finish out this section on tips and tricks, let's talk about how we can search for recently uploaded files. Here we can see that the drawing 2020-BA-01 has been successfully uploaded, and the version in the collaborative space is the same as the version on the local hard drive. However, when we examine the web browser and refresh our collaborative space, the drawing 2020-BA-01 is not displayed. This is because files which have not yet been indexed by 3D Experience will not display in the collaborative space. We can, however, search for these missing files. So we go up to the top of the screen and type in 2020-BA. We then press Enter to begin the search, but no search results show up. This, once again, is because the file has not yet been indexed. But what we can do is examine this icon that looks like a clock. Now, you'll see this icon throughout 3D Experience, and it's very handy when you want to access your information immediately and don't want to wait for 5 minutes for the next indexing cycle. Here we can see, if we left click on this clock, we have two options: Search in my recent content and Show all, meaning show all my files which have been uploaded but not yet indexed. I'm going to choose Search in my recent content, and the search query for 2020-BA now returns one result: 2020-BA-01 drawing, the drawing which has been uploaded but not yet indexed. I can also choose the option for Show All. This time, I'm not going to see a return based on a query string, but instead, I'm going to see all of my files which have been uploaded but not yet indexed. This is a great little trick to use whenever you want to start immediately working with the data you've uploaded. So to wrap up this video on tips and tricks when working with SolidWorks and data management in the cloud, I just want to remind everybody that there's a lot more capabilities that we're not covering in this tutorial series. You could eventually get into things like using contributors and authors within your collaborative space, or maybe start experimenting with the private and the obsolete maturity states. There's bookmarks, which, if you're going to really truly learn how to make your data easy to access and properly organized, you got to learn about bookmarks. Bookmarks are amazing. Of course, there's a bunch of settings in the admin tools that you can adjust to help streamline the workflow and kind of lock down what people can and cannot do within the collaborative space, and much, much more. So with that, let's move on to the final video where we're going to teach you how to add a coworker to your collaborative space.